frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel.
Welcome brothers, welcome sisters, welcome to our program On Target. And the clock hit 12, so you can pick up your telephone and give us a call. You could determine what we speak about, and you could interrupt us at any time. We fear no subject matter. We believe that one of the most important pillars of the democratic process is the free press. And you need voices on the media and on radio that fear no one. We promise to speak the truth, and you must help us. If we say anything that is not the truth, correct us quickly. But when we speak, we dare and we challenge. There are many outside there who decide to sit down and plan lies and try to intimidate individuals who speaking. Well, one of the things we must never surrender is our voice in a democracy. Always remember, the custodians of the democracy is the ordinary man, not the trade union. The trade union is a powerful group. They can lobby for the best deal, and the best deal may not be in your interest. The Bar Association is a powerful group. They can practically dictate the best deal. But the best deal may not be in the interest of the ordinary man. And that is why it is so important in the democratic process for us to have a free press. Because all these politicians who will trample on you today need your vote tomorrow. The only thing you have is the power of your vote. One man, one vote. Because the people in the lower income group are the greater number, you're powerful. Every 5 years, or if you put enough pressure on the government before, you get a chance to elect the government you have. Since 1983, we have had the opportunity to choose the government we want. Sometimes we choose them for one term, and sometimes we give them 2 terms with all the seats. That's the power you have. They would like to silence you, so they use drones to intimidate Jenny Simon, one of the powerful individuals on radio that dare them with facts. They threaten to jail Andre Donald on Real FM and try financial strangulation. Well, I am not a significant player in the game, but you will hear my voice because I fear no one. The number to call is 442-0175. We are on Real FM 91.9, 91.5. In addition to that, we are on We Noise FM in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, caller, welcome.
Then Mr.
Yes,
Pierre
man.
and his listening public,
Yes, my brother.
Clifford Bridgman, I wish you was listening because I'm going to make a point because I believe me and Clifford is on the same scale. Clifford, my good friend, we are not looking for anything. We are already retired. We are just advocating for our country, our children and grandchildren. Some people believe we're fighting for something when we talk the truth. This is not our policy. What I'm saying is this thing about NDC force is start to backfire. Even NDC workforce is start to backfire against this administration in the housing department. In Kariku, I was told that they're going to give only who is NDC contract. And today it backfire. Most of the houses was not properly well covered because somebody in this in NDC members who got the contract was not builders. They never built a house in their life. So it started to backfire. Even the Minister of Housing admit it's a disaster. You see, when a government want to play politics in all what it does, look for the people first. That has happened sometime. Mr. Pierre, before I close, I want to give 5, well, even 6 good reasons why our present Prime Minister is not a good leader. And I have no apology in saying that. What make him a very bad leader? Number one, he don't like people. He don't love people. And when you don't love people, it a show. You could see he just playing the game just because he need your vote to get into office to do what he wants to do. But he don't have this type of love in him. It's very, very simple for Grenadians to see, who have eyes to see. 2, he divide the country. 3, he encourage corruption in the country. Number 4, he break the law in the country, especially in the GDP bank. Number 5, he lies to the nation on a regular basis. Number 6, he have no respect for the people of Grenada. He give them no accountability. He disrespect the electorate. But the time gonna come when he's gonna come back to them on his knees and beg them. So he have many more, but I would just say some. As time goes on, I will advocate why he's not a good leader. And anyone challenge me if they had the facts. I have many more areas to prove to the nation, to the people of this country and the people Grenadians abroad, why we need a good leader at this time and a leader who cares at this time. And we have no other choice but to vote Mistress Emily Pierre because she has what it takes. She have love. She care about poor people. She don't pretend. You could get it from her voice. She don't pretend. She comes straight to the point, and you could see, you could feel the love. And I know she have the training. I rest my case.
Yes, scholar, and I really like that approach. When you make a powerful statement like that, you back it up. You back it up with facts. And then you dare and you challenge them to defend it or take it on. The NDC cannot defend it. So they go on to personal attacks. And the personal attacks are full of lies. They go after radio personalities and their family members. And sometimes you're sorry for the family. You know they say, if you have cocoa outside, don't call her in. Some of them attack people, family members, and you're so sorry. You don't want to respond to them because they have cocoa outside. But caller, I like that approach. When you make a powerful statement like that, you back it up with facts. I agree with you. Dickney is a compulsive liar. He believes in bribery. He is a divider. He's the first politician in Grenada that is promoting classism. Consider people as classless and commoners and beggy. Dickney is an inciter of violence, and he flung the law with impunity for the purpose of corrupt practices. He's the most disrespectful prime minister we ever had, encouraging people to use obscenity, and he dabbled with the occult. I agree with your call. The number to call is 442-0175. We are the custodians of our democracy. If the democracy fail, we cause it to fail. You, the ordinary man, particularly if your salary, if your income is under $3,000 a month, you are an ordinary person. And I don't care whether you have a vehicle or not. Once your income is under $3,000 a month in Grenada, you catching your nene. You're not even supposed to be a member of NDC. Because NDC is about 3,000 people, not more than that. Some people angry with the political party, they join NDC. Some people feel them is petty bourgeois, so they go to NDC. Some people bitter and full of hate, and political parties would not tolerate them, so they join NDC. But the true NDC is not a big God. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, did you listen to Beyond the Headline on Monday night?
No.
Oh my God, Mr. Pierre, Mr. Andy Williams was there. I mean, how somebody could go on a program with everybody listening and blatantly lie of what he say? And they say they build 150 houses, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. A lady called last night and she said they still under 10, about 100 of them under 10 still. They build some houses, but calling and complaining about the houses leaking. Mr. Pierre, I don't know. Oh God, I think those people and them, when they tell lies, they feel good. Because everybody calling and congratulating them for what they're saying.
Not everybody, some of the members.
Well, some of the members.
Not everybody, because everybody will include you.
Eh?
Huh.
Some of their members call in and congratulate them, and they know definitely telling lies. Why they have to do that? If they speak the truth, something's gonna happen to them. Speak the truth now. Don't make us look like some stupid people who have no sense. They have to stop doing that. They have to stop doing that if they want to rise. They will never rise because every move they make is lies. Every move they make is lies. So how are they going to rise? They're going to fall. They're going to fall. I'm going to have to Mr. Pierre.
Yes, the NDC have a history of sitting down and plan lies. And they get away with it a lot of time. They sit down and plan lies. They believe they are the brightest and smartest people in the country. They believe they are the most intelligent people in the country. If you're speaking to somebody and they start to call you stupid and dumb, you know it's an NDC. I have been branded all sorts of names on social media. Some of them can't even show their face. They have a false identity. Because they're ashamed to say what they're saying, they afraid you might bounce them up in the street. So they are custom planning lies. They have a history of doing that. Every time they come in power, when they're out from power, instead of sitting down and plan what to do if they win, they're spreading lies and propaganda. And that is why they told so much lies to the Imanis, the elderly people in the society, the people who were on contract, the people who are waiting for permanent jobs, the journalists, the life of the journalists. They told the journalists, we're going to legislate freedom of information. And when they come in power, they say information will be provided based upon need to know basis. You remember the lies they told about housing? And up to now, the houses in Kayaku that was built for the people in the lower income group, they deny the people. The houses in St. Patrick's, one individual know very well. She was yellow more than a saffron. Prior to the election, they gave her permission to get a house, but she had to pay $75,000. She was 59 years old then, and she was working with government as a supernumerary. They tell her go to the bank. The woman went in the bank, and the person in the bank watch her and feel sad for her. They say, ma'am, based upon your age, you can't get this loan. The woman come out in the bank with tears in her eyes. The NDC blatantly lied to these people. They told them they make arrangement with the bank. They told them the interest rate would be about 3%. They never had discussion with no bank. They tell lies and deceive the people. They take these 100 house units from the people who need it most. They abandon the system of rent to own because they believe it is easier to use the houses for bribery purpose so that the people in the diaspora would be able to buy the house unit. $75,000, that is about 30,000 US. They believe they're friends of the potential voters in the diaspora to give them the opportunity to buy the house. The NDC is a group of vultures. What is a vulture? A gigi. They prey on the weak and unsuspecting. You see the hen make a noise and all the children come and all the chicks come under her wings as she fight the gigi to protect them. The NDC have always been like that. They get worse now, but they always like that. You remember in 2008, 2013, they told the Imanis, we're going to give you $1,000. They fired them. They had a meeting with them. The minister had a meeting with them. He said, you all are like me children. We love all you. We won't fire you. And a few weeks after that, he fired them. And he changed the name of the program. Give it a big name. I can't remember the name. And in 2022, they told the SEDI money, we made a political mistake. We shouldn't fire. So now we're going to make you permanent. Now, these are the people you're dealing with, you know. This is the people you're dealing with. And when I speak, I dare. I challenge them. Because that is what they said. You're going to make them permanent. They say with a stroke of a pen, there is no need for a parallel public service. No need. They accuse the previous government for being criminals. And they fired him again. And they said they fired him. I'll tell you why they fired him. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
You know, you ever hear what is a John Crow in Jamaica?
The John Crow is an eagle, the fill on the garbage.
Right, that NDC is definitely John Crow.
Yeah.
That's just what they are. A set of John Crows and fishes. They're living on the backs, parasite, they're living on the backs of Grenadians. And it's time for these people and them to go. They have to go.
I agree with you, caller. That's parasites.
Yes, man, the parasites.
Pathogenic parasites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them is them political bandit, a banjis. You know,
well, I fully agree with you. They are political bandits.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do
that's what they are, and they have to go. They cannot stay here longer. Grenadians suffering too much. Yeah.
But always remember, some Grenadian not suffering.
And the Jamaican describe them as hoodlum.
Yeah.
You ever hear about them hoodlums in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is just what they are. Hoodlums. And this is just hoodlums. Yeah. All right.
Yes, caller, thank you. Yes, they want to intimidate those who dare speak against them. Yeah. The NDC, from the time Deacon said, the only reason why the NNP get in is because we don't know who the real NDC is. His words was more like that. You all complaining, but the only reason why the others get in is because we don't know who the real yellow is. That's a political bandit. That's a political bandit. That's a divider of the worst kind. And I say to people, when you're making your decision to vote, that's an important decision. The decision I might make, you might make it, because you have to vote in your interest. You have to determine the policies of the government. If the government policy is not seeking the interests of the people in the lower income group, then why support them? You see, you could get affected if your brother voice is loud. Because they say, well, he look as you, though, so yellow. That is why my brother, my cousin Blash, behaving so bad now. He want to prove to Deacon that he yellow more than suffering. The boy is my cousin. The boy was a strong NNP. So they don't trust him. So he had to get on. He become a getter. He cussing win. He telling lies. I beg him. I said not to do that. Remember, we is one family. Don't do that. But I understand. I understand. Right now, I understand. And I'm very tolerant towards him. I only encourage him not to go and damage anybody and destroy people and condemn people for the NDC government. And just as I appeal to the police, you have a very good track record in Grenada, the island of conflict. If you go way back when, even before the days of Gary, the police in Grenada have really tried to maintain credibility, irrespective of all the political conflicts. The police have tried. And you must continue to do that. Don't get worked up and firing guns in crowd. Don't let Deacon trick you, because Deacon would not support you. As far as Deacon concerned, you're in the classless group, and you know that. You're poor. So don't let Deacon cause you to commit murder. He is not seeking your interest. The police in Grenada have a good reputation in the Caribbean. You are well respected. So be careful. Remember the word stampede is not a word that is common in the Caribbean. But in some countries, India and the Muslim countries, you have stampede regular and people dying. So when you go in crowd, avoid firing guns, because you could have stampede and you could have mass casualties. They say a word to the wise is sufficient. But I want you to maintain your credibility. You have been doing a very, very good job. So don't let it fall down. What we have is a government that you would not give you support. The Prime Minister has been very inconsistent. He flip-flopping. He has been inciting violence in the country. And the upsurge in disrespect to the police, misbehavior, and violence is as a direct result of the Prime Minister of Grenada and the Attorney General, well supported by Tevin Andrew. You see, across the police, beating his chest. If they ask you, tell them yes, across the police. So that contributes to the level of disrespect. The other little sister in Guava had made some comment, but she is a minor. But the Attorney General and Deacon is the chief culprit of that responsible for the upsurge in violence. And I appeal to the young men in our community. Violence have no reward. So I appeal to you to tone down. Behave yourself. You're using too much unnecessary obscenities. Don't follow Deacon. Not because Deacon cussing bad word in public. Don't do it. It's not good. And I appeal to our women. Remember, you are the one that's spending money in the court, not the fathers. The fathers are him say attack and the boy don't hear me. So he's not spending the money behind this bad behaved voice. It's the mother that taking Shisianka Tuka money and go and give lawyers. And the lawyers telling one the magistrate send them in jail. The lawyers not so interested in defending them. They want them going to jail. But the lawyers still taking the money. So I appeal to the women. Talk to your sons. They're living in your home. You not crying for them. Not the man not crying for them. You see, I talk to the boy and the boy don't win. And that's the end of the story. Not putting out the money. You that going in court, when they're in jail, you that going and visit them. The father's not going. So bang your belly and talk to your sons. Tell them have respect for the law. Cease and desist from all these violent actions. Stop play done. Encourage them to get a woman and settle down. Some of them behaving bad because they don't know woman. So encourage your sons. Let them know the girls in the village good. Nothing wrong with them. Behave yourself. And when you pick up a woman, you have to prepare to pay bills. That's important. So mothers, talk to your son. Otherwise, the police will break up the foot. The police going to shoot some. And the magistrate going to send some in jail. And you going to be in the village sad after you would have spent your Sianka Tuka money. The number to call is 442-0175, and you can make your contributions. We want to encourage Grenadians. The upsurging violence is not good. We need to take it down a notch. We need to tone down. We want to advise Deacon Mitchell and the Attorney General. You all are lawyers. Have some behavior. You are not behaving good. We want to encourage the president of the Bar Association. Talk to these two people. Tell them they have to behave better. Tell them not to incite violence. And we want to call on the psychologists, the NDC psychologists. You wouldn't want to take the advice of Dr. Panchu. So the NDC psychologists examine the behavior of the Prime Minister of Grenada. His utterances, his flip-flopping actions. Yes, come and welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
And good afternoon to the listening public and to the gentleman that spoke about me. I know that.
Did the gentleman agree with you?
Yeah, well, he spoke about me.
Yeah.
Right. I know that there are some people who wouldn't like certain things that I say and when I say them. But I have a conscience. And I am in a real, looking at politics a very long time. In other words, I'm here long. Since in the days of Mr. Eric Matthew Gary.
Long time long.
Yes, the first person I ever voted for was for a man called David Sylvester. Teacher. And I voted for him in support of...
You see crazy call by the old said when he called him tongue in politics. Teacher.
He used to...
not he that bit of David?
Yes.
Where do not make money?
Yes.
Follow that, sir?
Yes. Get Harry to tell us.
Harry, please tell us.
We want to know about the bonus.
We want to know about the bonus.
In 66, let's get this matter fixed.
That time they take the nutmeg and money and put in Barbados Bank.
Right. So I'm aware. I have lived my life under every government that came from the revolution to now, or from Mr. Gary to now. There are some things all the politicians say that I don't like. And there's sometimes politicians do like it, you know. They don't realize that they're serving the people. Some politicians behave like, you know, they are up there and you are down there. And you have to look around to you.
These are commoner.
Yes, yes, some politicians, and a lot of them. Now, when you offer yourself as a candidate on any party, you are hoping that that party win, because it's party politics we have in the Caribbean. We're hoping that this party wins and that the head of the party will select you into a ministry as a minister. Nobody that wins the seat cannot dictate to the Prime Minister that I want to be in the ministry of XYZ. The Prime Minister have that determination alone.
Prerogative.
Right? So he decides where he puts you. And he decides if he doesn't want you. But even though he doesn't want you as a minister, you are still elected in the House of Parliament because you represent the people. And people have to get to understand that. And some of the persons that offer themselves as candidates and remember that they're serving the people, they do not have respect for the people. They do not realize that they are serving the people because they know that they are minister and the minister, and they say a lot of words that they shouldn't say. I mean, imagine a man telling people, and I heard it last night before, 2 nights ago, by Mr. Williams, saying that he take up the position as general secretary because he wants to see things change. And he admitting with the prime minister that we do not know who is the true NDC. No, you have to be very careful. After you won your seat, you are there to serve Grenada, every Grenadian, not the people that voted for you. And the politicians must get to understand that. I don't like some statement made by NMP. I don't like some statement made by NDC. I don't like some statement made by other political parties. And that is why these other political parties that are coming in can't reach far. Because they don't have a better choice than what is there. We have to, let us rally and tell, we must be able to tell. I am prepared to tell Mr. Dickon that he's used a wrong word and he shouldn't use that word. I am prepared to tell Mr. Williams that he should not use that word. Mr. Williams said that he's bringing his parliament, he's bringing his office to the people. So every week he'll be going in a different constituency or a different area in the constituency. That means you are serving the people. You don't know who is an MP that come in there. You don't know who is an NDC that come in there. You have to serve the people. So you can't go in a public space and say, well, the reason why NMP getting the job or NDC getting job is because we do not know who is it to. That is trash. And I maintain it. Thank you.
Well, Colonel, I have to agree with you. And that is why I asked if Deacon under drugs. This is one of the final nail in the coffin that convinced me that Deacon is under some mind-altering substance, to which I believe drugs. And I said for people to Google, it is more likely that intelligent people take drugs than uneducated and poor people. We believe that because we see the guys as vagrants climbing coconut tree and etc. and taking coke, they reach that stage because they cannot sustain the habit. But there's a lot of people that take drugs in our society and you don't know. They have a ready source of income, so they could take drugs. A man might have 2 vehicles, he sell one. Nobody bother with that. Sometimes he sell the vehicle because he's taking drugs. Sometimes you see a very intelligent man had gold chain, he stopped with gold. Sometimes he pawn the gold for drugs. Sometimes it shock the public when you hear some people, a man begging publicly, a man come publicly saying, untarget you on radio and you owe me thousands of dollars. You shock because you untarget that money. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, brother.
Pleasant afternoon to you, sir. No, Mr. Pierre, I want to update you. Yeah. I don't know if you heard about the survey that was done with the people of St. Andrew, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
A survey?
Yes.
Who did the survey?
Well, don't worry, we go get to that.
Well, that is the first thing I just want to know, the credibility of these surveys. And I just ignore them,
It was a very credible survey.
Then you must know if it's a credible organization.
It is a credible
Because if an organization is going to do a survey, but they hide in the name, one time I don't waste time with them.
They don't hide in their name. I just may not be able to provide all the details.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Now, here the question, 2 questions they ask. If Grenada is an aquarium, what would you want to be and why? Mr. Pierre, Did you know that 100% plus 100% of the participants in St. Andrew Carrick and Petit Matney gave the same answer? They all said that they would like to be the rocks or the water in the tank. The other question now was why you want to be the rocks and the water. They all said that the other five parishes have more than enough fishes, with St. Patrick having the greatest diversity in terms of species. Have a pleasant day, sir.
I'm not wiser with this one. I don't know if anybody want to comment on it. I can't comment. I can't comment on this one. But I continue to insist and try to get our people to understand that we are the custodians of our democracy. We must not, don't bother with this blame game. People like to blame. They blame in slavery. They blame in colonialism. They blame in imperialism. They blame in communism. They will not blame themselves. We have an opportunity in Grenada. We got a second chance in Grenada from 1983. And we had the opportunity to select the government we want. And irrespective of what people say, Grenada have made a lot of improvement. And I do that and I make this statement. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, caller, welcome.
I listen to what you are talking about the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister make it clear. You know why every other person gets in? Because they don't know the needy NDC people I want. You don't know that? You know who needy people I want?
It is not using what we caller.
Who need it? He said,
Caller.
He said you don't know who needs
Caller.
it. He said you don't know.
The Prime Minister said, the reason the others getting, all you complaining, all you don't getting, but the reason the others getting is because we don't know who the real NDC is.
We don't know who the needy people, needy NDC people want. That is what he said, and I could play it for you and everyone.
Please do, caller.
Mr. Pierre.
Caller. That is a powerful statement to make. Let's go on it. Because
you
see, that was his statement.
He said you don't know who the needy people is. Needy people.
You thought that was a good statement, caller?
That was a good statement to make because you know who the needy MP is.
Caller, the Prime Minister, caller. You don't have needy NDC and needy NMP.
Yes.
Caller, that is for the party. But when the Prime Minister speak, you have to speak about the country.
You speak about the country, so NDC is not part of the country.
God.
NDC is not part of the country.
Caller, we will cause violence in the country.
So NDC
what we're going to do, we divide Grenada. We will cause violence. And then some are NDCC supporters telling people, you must starve. How are you going to agree with that? How are you going to agree with these things? When you live in a community, culture man, call me. Culture man, call me. I know he does listen to me sometime. Call me. How are you going to agree with that? When you going to tell your neighbors, let a pond stone in the river, what happened to you? That's a small country. It's things like that went on in Rwanda. Over 80,000 people died in a couple months. The NDC always preaching hate. They always preaching hate. And they have been getting a free field to run on. What the Prime Minister said is unacceptable. The Prime Minister has qualified himself as a divider. And based upon what he said, I come to the conclusion that the Prime Minister perhaps is under some mind-altering substance. And maybe taking drugs. He under some mind-altering substance. Because he flip-flopping. He inconsistent with the statement. Any ordinary Juku to me knows you're not supposed to say this thing. The Prime Minister is a well-educated man. He's a lawyer. But that doesn't mean the Prime Minister is not a criminal. That's why I ask you to Google the most criminal laws in the world. And I also asked to Google about intelligent people that on drugs. And it's not people who don't have money alone. You could be on drugs, but you have a lot of money to sustain your habit. Go and look at the 20 R&B artists that drugs ruin their life. Endless of them, over 20 of them. Go and look at the reggae artists in Jamaica that become junkies. And wasn't weed they smoking? Coke and other hard drugs. So I think it is reasonable for us Grenadians now to start to inquire. Is the Prime Minister normal? The statement he is making, is he normal? I don't think he is. So, I feel sorry for him now. I feel real sorry for him. Because being a Prime Minister could put you under a lot of pressure. And if you resort to taking substance, that will help you. And somebody flip-flopping the compulsive lies, the unpredictable statements, the deceiving statements, the divisive statement, the inciting violence. It seems to me that the Prime Minister under some mind-altering substance. And I think the NDC members, you should be concerned. Don't just come and attack me for saying that, because the first question I'm going to ask you, is it reasonable for the ordinary man to conclude, based upon his flip-flopping nature, based upon the lies that he tells, based upon his divisive statement, is it reasonable to conclude that he is on some mind-altering substance? It's important. The number to call is 442-0175, and we invite you to join the conversation, or you can speak about anything else. So it's important. We are the custodian. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, we welcome your call.
Mr. Pierre, that man was calling the taking for the Prime Minister. What the Prime Minister say, he doubting not that the Prime Minister say, he giving his own thoughts what the Prime Minister say. Well, how they love the Prime Minister? Mr. Pierre, if you love somebody, you tell them when they're wrong to fix whatever mistakes they're making. Why the people defending the Prime Minister when he's wrong? And I remember I tell you earlier on when I called this program, I said, look at the Prime Minister eyes when he's speaking. The Prime Minister is abnormal. Everything that happened, once it's wrong, they would not say, yes, it's wrong. You have to try to do better. They're fighting you down. The NMP was there for 23 years. They didn't do nothing. And they claim the Ford George and they claim this construction work day. They go open very soon. When they was building it, people say all kind of thing, but they go open very soon. You say about the wicked? They don't like the Prime Minister, the past administration, they wouldn't give him credit. What a sad politicians they are. What a sad politician they are. How they want to grow. how they want to grow. Nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes in life. But what due to the past, give it to them. Don't claim it. Don't own it. It's not a good thing. So that's all, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, you see, one person wrote on social media, I'm sorry you don't like to play clips. And when you have a program for an hour and you're looking for about 10 colors, you don't bother with clips. But you want people to remember our history. And you might find me repeating some things. And my issue is on policies of the government. The policy of the government. Ministers could make mistake. And there are some ministers that say some things and I ignore it. But if they're saying it with regularity, then it become part of the unwritten policy of government. So some of the utterances that come from the politician, as calling people classless and commoners and beggy, you cannot speak to an NDC hardline. It's telling you stupid. And you don't have sense. You know, they're very disrespectful. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
I am happy to hear that the NMP people are left fighting for no credit. I was saying $20 credit for it.
Thank
They
you.
want credit for everything.
Thank you.
They want credit for everything.
Yeah, and I think, caller, let me tell you why. The Prime Minister said nothing has been achieved in the country since 1983. Now, when an individual make a statement like that, then the NNP is correct. And I think they're very calm about it. They're correct to point out or to remind the public what they did. I am very, very disappointed with the NNP. You know. The NNP should have publication papers on what they achieved. The Prime Minister went in Parliament and said that in Hansard that nothing has been achieved since 1983. Now, when an individual in Grenada say that, the individual either crazy, he under some mind-altering substance, or he was not living in Grenada for a long while. The Prime Minister then spent some time telling him about the Grenada electrification program. But I said repeatedly on my program since I started many years ago, electricity, telephone, water, and internet, we second to none, comparable with the best and better than most in the Caribbean region. Grenada have the most landowners. We have more discretionary income in the education system. Why do I say that? 20% of the teachers drive themselves to school. We were more advanced in the internet system in schools than many other countries in the Caribbean region. So if an individual say that, the NNP people correct, and they have been doing a poor job of it, they're supposed to be able to rattle 10 things that was done. So they're not looking for credit. They're trying to explain to the Prime Minister because he do not have memory. Or maybe when he said that he was on drugs, he didn't know better. So I think the correct color. So even though you send a $20 credit for them, you could send it from me. I need it, no problem. But they need to tell the NDC members, how could you make a statement like that? And they need to point out to the NDC what they did during the 12 and a half years. They cut down the banda nutmeg in Belvedere. And they dig up around the lake. And they want to advocate net, to bring net to think cement, to think sea moss. Net to collect sea moss before you reach the ocean. But I understand they ordered the net from Dubai. So it will take some time. And you want to get Green Lake truck to pick mango and guava. Because I have always advanced the view. NDC is the worst government where agriculture is concerned. They have not contributed significantly to agriculture. But they sit down and plan lies. And you have to take the Prime Minister's statement. He never apologized for the statement. What he should have done was to apologize. Say I was taken out of context. Or that day I had a little stress and problem. Sometimes he had stress the day too. Because I like to forgive politicians for the statements they make, but he must recognize it and seek amends. Say sorry. So that's why people have to constantly remind them. When you go and interfere in the airport project, you criticize the airport project. And then you go in and do as if you that had vision. Or you could do that. That's plagiarism. That's why the Prime Minister getting his leaks for this job thing. When the interviewer asked the Prime Minister about job, the interviewer was concerned with the excesses of job. That's why he asked the Prime Minister, he was concerned with the excesses of the job. The Prime Minister said, job must play. He said, job in Parliament, job all about. The Prime Minister was supporting the excesses. Now the same Prime Minister come in and say too early. Well, what time they should start? Declare as the Prime Minister. You declare mass in May. Why you don't open the carnival season in July? You put it in May. And then you're saying job too early. When you was asked the question about job, the question was against the background that the interviewer was concerned about the excesses of the job. You shut him up. You tell him job must play. You want job in Parliament, all kind of thing. So you gave them the green light to continue with the excesses. It's just as when the Prime Minister said he going to buy a plane. Then the Prime Minister come back innocent and say you can't buy plane because you have to get license and insurance. So a big lawyer don't know if you buy a motorbike in the country, you have to license and insure it. The Prime Minister do as if somebody asked him to buy plane. And that is these things have been adding. What is going on? We have to be concerned, If we have a Prime Minister that is under drugs, well, the Prime Minister going to kill us in the hospital. We pay him $6 million a year for the hospital. And they have a 15-year contract. Does that, even if you don't build a hospital, and I don't know the legal ramifications, but do Grenada have to continue to pay even if no hospital was built? That is the fine print in the legal ramification. And you're going to only know it when the government change. And that is why it's against this background I'm expressing concern that the Prime Minister of Grenada may be under some mind-altering substance. We want to thank you very much. Time went fast. So we're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1. And you have another opportunity to be the custodians of our democracy. Thank you very much.
Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend.